Welcome, everyone. My name is Noemi Victorino. I'm your host for today on behalf of Tri-Cities Community Television. And today we have Vanessa Wideski, the co-executive director of Low Entropy Foundation. And we also have former chief of the Coquitlam First Nations, Ed Hall, and currently the board chair for Low Entropy Foundation. Welcome to you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Vanessa, we are here to talk about homelessness in the Tri-Cities. And Low Entropy has a lot of programs already in place. Tell us why you've decided to add tackling homelessness as one of your programs.
Yeah, absolutely. So Low Entropy is a very agile, community-oriented nonprofit. And last year we hosted a Tri-Cities community building event where we brought anyone in the community together who wanted to talk about what are some of the gaps in the Tri-Cities and how can we address those gaps. And the biggest gap that we identified was the lack of affordable housing and everything that comes with that, including the unhoused people that we see today, which is 160 is the current count in the Tri-Cities. So being action takers, we want to do something to support those who are unhoused.
With the Indigenous communities representing 33% of the unhoused, former Chief Ed, what would you say is lacking? Could the community benefit from being consulted, becoming a partner instead of just being a subject?
The community probably could benefit for that. Thank you for that question. And it also the community is addressing its own housing issues. We're able to work with the other governments and to establish building projects on the small amount of land that there is available in that too. So we have a new build that is just about finished construction and almost ready to be moved into. And that's 14 units. And yes, I always think that the more the merrier, the more the stronger it is. Strength in numbers when it comes to people working together.
Yeah.
Okay. As a former chief of the Coquitlam First Nations, is there anything missing? Is there anything that you'd like to see happen?
Not only just locally within the nation's own parcels, but even externally throughout the Tri-Cities. I would actually like to see some Indigenous housing that'd be able to address that, because from my own experience of being a liaison between the nation and the school district 43 and a lot of the different schools, and with all of the school trustees and district principals and whatnot, I learned over the years there that there is climbed dramatically from about 12 or 1300 Indigenous or Inuit or Métis identified students right on up to about 17 or 1800 now within the Tri-Cities. So affordable housing wouldn't be a bad area to explore, because the bigger cities like Vancouver and Surrey and maybe even Burnaby, they all have native housing out there, and the societies that go with them, and it's just not the local First Nations, that whose persons are going out looking for the housing. That they come from all over the province and even interprovincially, and that's looking for places to live and make a go at things in life. And I'm sure that not only here but all around we could benefit by looking into that further, and instead of just building high rises all the time.
Okay, Vanessa, you have recently restructured your board, the organization of your board. Low Entropy is one of two nonprofits in the Tri-Cities that is Indigenous led. Can you tell us more about that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. So when we identified that there was a huge need for more affordable housing here in the Tri-Cities, we started looking into that and trying to understand how we could be involved and support that space. And we were fortunate enough to receive a $25,000 grant from Spark BC that was given to us so that we could do a homelessness and housing feasibility research study here in the Tri-Cities. So we dived in and we started learning about what's happening in the Tri-Cities and looking at the different resources that are available for those who are unhoused or at risk of homelessness. And there's not much, is what we came to understand. And there's virtually no resources available for Indigenous individuals. And that was a stark revelation because, as you mentioned, 33% of unhoused folks are Indigenous, and yet there's no Indigenous cultural support. Being a Métis woman myself, this was alarming to me. And so I attempted to collaborate with those who are already in the space, helping folks who are unhoused. And I was met with some colonialism. And so I reached out to my Indigenous elders and knowledge sharers and asked for their guidance. And really organically, our board came together. And now we're honored to be walking alongside our new board of directors. Also grateful for our former board who voluntarily resigned and made room for our new Indigenous leadership to come forward.
Wow, this is such a big change. And correct me if I'm wrong, the program which would tackle homelessness or helping the unhoused, it's called Empower Home, correct?
Yes.
Tell us more about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Empower Home. So once we started looking into the space of homelessness and affordable housing, we recognized the need for support, and so we went back to the original funder, Spark BC, who gave us the research money, and we asked her if we could use the rest of the funds to create a program so we can address the issues rather than collecting more data, because the data is there. We know that there needs more support, more resources in this area. And so, fortunately, the funder agreed that we could use the funding to create this new program. And originally, we were going to create a volunteer-led program because we can't really do much with $25,000, and we'd already spent some on the research. So we figured, okay, well, with what we have left, we will mobilize the community, bring volunteers together, we'll train them, and we'll go into the field, and we'll start supporting those who are unhoused. And so we began this journey. We started doing that, and then we were seeing that we needed more people, not just volunteers. Fortunately, we started a social venture last year. We opened a thrift store, and the thrift store has been doing really well. So we've been able to allocate some of the revenue to actually hire staff to work as frontline outreach workers. And we were also granted a wage subsidy to complement the revenue that we were putting forward. So now we've got 6 full-time outreach support staff who are in the field supporting those who are unhoused and collaborating with the other nonprofit providers in this space, such as Hope for Freedom, Phoenix, and Progressive. They've been super helpful.
That's great, Vanessa. Have you reached out to other organizations or the Indigenous communities?
Yes, we have. We're very collaborative, and we've hosted a community forum. We have another community forum coming up on March 1st, and we've been met with different opinions, but we're really trying to find the folks who want to work together with us and respect our voice at the table. One of those organizations has been the Spirit of the Children. Spirit of the Children is amazing, and they've welcomed us with open arms, and so we are working together with them. They do have housing support workers in the Tri-Cities. They also do in Surrey, Burnaby, New West. So 3 housing support workers that are kind of spread thin across all these different cities, but they don't have any outreach support.
Chief Ed, now that you are the board chair for Low Entropy Foundation, are you excited to work with Vanessa and her team?
I am very excited to be offered this opportunity, which I gracefully accepted because I want to be able to continue to help where I can and try to be able to make a difference and provide some guidance along the way as much as I can. And I am personally connected with an unhoused person, my paternal niece. She is in a situation like that now too. So the more I can offer to try and make ways through throughout the Tri-Cities, the better I feel, and hopefully it'll make a difference in other people's lives.
Wow. Well, thank you both for your time. If you were to ask our viewers, what would be your ask? Is there anything that you want the community to help with or to help support?
Yeah, I would say you can make a difference. I feel that one person can make a big difference, even if it's just sitting down and speaking with somebody who is sleeping rough and living without a home, just getting to know that individual, humanizing that person, because it's a person there that comes from a family, is displaced and needs our help. So I would ask that you be part of the solution and help.
Chief Ed?
Oh, thank you for that question. That's a great one. I'm thinking, donations of your time or donations of funds. If you can spare funds, donate it to the foundation, volunteer, or even to the thrift store. You can probably donate goods that can be resold there, and different things like that. Are really, really easy approaches to be able to, do your part out there throughout the Tri-Cities to be able to help make a difference.
Great. If people want to know more about low entropy and what low entropy does, how can they get a hold of that information? Or are there any contact websites that you want to share with our viewers?
Yes, thank you for that. For the public's general information, they could seek out the Low Entropy Foundation website, and they could also attend our community unhoused forum, which is on March 1st at the Coquitlam Library, Pine Tree Way, on March 1st.
That's great. Vanessa?
Yeah, definitely. We would love to meet you in person. Please come and join us on March 1st, 11:45 a.m. to 12:45 p.m. We're going to have lots of snacks from Soul Bite, Rahane, and Igor's company. They'll be the ones catering the event. So it's going to be a great opportunity to meet with some local leaders and also share your voice around how can we support our unhoused in the Tri-Cities.
Well, thank you both for your time. That's much appreciated. Noemi Victorino, representing Tri-Cities Community Television.